Self-care that commands respect. The Inconvenient Change Mindset and the Truth about Consistency. This is the 15th episode of the series segment Transformative Personal Experience. Welcome back to Your Past for a Better You, your Special Forces unit for breakthrough living, where we decode the DNA of excellence to help you dominate personal and professional growth. Hello, my dear friends. This is Scarlett Marcel Vantedeschia, and today we are not just talking about skincare. We are going to impact a mindset that quietly sabotages lives, success, and relationships. It shows up in homes, bathrooms, and behind the closed doors of spa treatment rooms. I've seen it firsthand, not once or twice, but over and over again, with thousands of women. And I call it the Inconvenient Change Mindset. This episode is about truth, boundaries, and self care. Not the Instagram kind, my friends, but the type that feels with power. So, my dear friends, let's enter the arena. Throughout my career as an esthetician, I have had the honor and sometimes heartbreak of working with thousands of women. Women from every background you can imagine. Single, married, professionals, divorced mothers, entrepreneurs, housewives, daughters. And a pattern kept emerging. At first, I thought it was a coincidence, but it became impossible to ignore. While they were single, many of them would invest a little in themselves. Not enough, but a little. They come to their facials now and then. They try a treatment or maybe two. Maybe buy a serum, a cream. Maybe skip 1 month, but come back. They pay attention to their hair, watch their diet, and squeeze in a Pilates class here and there. But then they get married and become, or maybe they become business entrepreneurs or executives, or take on demanding the responsibilities. And suddenly, like clockwork, they disappear. 99% of them gone. No calls, no appointments, no follow ups. Some vanish forever. Others return years later, usually after something had broken. Often it was their marriage. It wasn't just the relationship that fell apart, it was them. They walked back into my office not as the vibrant woman I used to see, but as someone whose spirit was dying. Their self esteem was cracked. Their bodies carried the silence of self neglect. Their eyes were tired of putting everyone else first. This isn't about vanity, my friends. This isn't about to be selfish. It's about a mindset, a deeply inconvenient one that tells women, now that you have someone, your body doesn't matter. Your skin doesn't matter. Your rituals, your identity, your presence, not needed. And I have seen this mindset across cultures, across races, across social classes. It is a quiet epidemic. Now, my friends, let's fast forward to today. We have swung to the other extreme. Now I see young women in their early 20s, even late teens, investing in everything: fillers, botox, body contouring, microcurrent lifts. Many are beautiful, glowing, and full of life, and yet terrified of losing that age. Some of them come to me weeks or days before their wedding, waiting to reverse years of skin habits in 24 hours. And I see the pressure, I see the fear, I see the obsession with aesthetics without the foundation of inner wellness, identity, and purpose. So, on one hand, women who abandon themselves after a partnership, a high status job or business. On the other hand, women who focus only on their appearance, driven by fear, insecurity, seasonal trends, marketing tactics, or the pressure to meet ever changing and unrealistic beauty standards, may end up feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from their true selves, trapped in a cycle of constant comparison and dissatisfaction. Both are symptoms of the same disease, a disconnect from self care as a value. Self care is not a trend. It is not something you do when it's convenient or seasonal. It's not a wedding day checklist or a quick fix when life falls apart. Self care is a culture, it's a value system. It is a boundary you set with a word that says, I matter, I worth my own attention, I will not disappear from my own life. This isn't about skincare, it's about strategy. And when women confuse self care with vanity or selfishness, they lose their edge, their center, their confidence, and over time, their voice. When I started my business, I had nothing. My Dora wore worn out shoes. I had clients, yes, but barely enough money to survive. One day, my father, who had never helped me financially before, walked in and handed me a large bill. I will never forget what he said. You have to eat first. If you are well, your daughter will be too. That day, something kicked. It wasn't about luxury. It wasn't about vanity. It wasn't about to be selfish. It was about accountability. If I collapsed, how could I live? If I neglected my wellness, how could I teach strength to my Dora? For that day forward, I began to see self care not as a personal indulgence, but as a foundational asset, a force multiplier. This is why I align with women, because this is not just skincare, it's a strategic system rooted in respect, tradition, and cutting edge science. When I talk about rituals, about beauty, about wellness, I am not selling creams. I am cultivating discipline, respect, clarity, and command presence. That's the new feminine power. That's the modern elite woman. So, wherever you are right now, single, married, mother, entrepreneur, ask yourself, have you disappeared from your own calendar? Are you waiting for a crisis to justify taking care of yourself? Are you chasing perfection instead of protecting your rituals? Self care is not vanity, my friends. Self care is command, and how you care is how you live. Share this episode with a woman who needs to hear it, not for her skin, for her strength, because boundaries begin with how you treat yourself. Ready to claim self worth before the crisis hits. The Boundaries Reset experience, Starling, isn't just a book. It's your tactical guide to becoming the kind of woman who doesn't disappear in her own life. This is for every woman who's ever put herself last, only to return years later trying to find the pieces. Start now, not when it's convenient, when it's critical. Tap into the clarity, confidence, and consistency you deserve. Grab your copy now and begin the reset. And copy this, my friends. The most radical act of self respect is never vanishing from your own story. Okay, my friends, mission accomplished. Until next time, stay sharp, stay sacred, lead with clarity, and command your worth. Thank you for tuning in. Strength and honor. See you in the arena.